Welcome back, everybody. I'm Rambo Brambo 42, and before we get things started, consider giving that like button, a little bit of a smack and a tickle. It'll help me, you'll feel good, I'll feel good. It really is a win-win. Plus, while you're down there, might as well hit that subscribe button. Every little bit helps. Now, with that shameless plug out of the way, let's talk about the game plan today. And it is going to be a bit of a doozy. Yeah, big plans. Honestly, I've been hitting my head against a wall trying to figure out what I was going to do with this. Come on, gotta think of an idea. Oh, well, that's too hard. But then it finally came to me. I finally decided on a farm. And, I've looked and I had my heart and my mind set on this Rayworks farm that was going to give me about 1.3 million drops. And then I found out that there was another farm that could give me about 1.8 million drops. Unfortunately, my server can't handle it. Yeah, so most of these farms, when you get up into the top tier, they're mainly portal based. So once you put a mob through a portal, it takes about 15 seconds for them to despawn on the other side of the portal. That's all good and fun and everything. But when you start piling in, hundreds upon hundreds of guardians at once, you start lagging out things. And it got to the point where in these test worlds I was doing, well, I could go through a portal and then, Minecraft, it decided just to crap out on me. And I bet I know what you're thinking. Back what was it, episode 3, 4, I built a new computer and it should be able to handle all this. I maintain it is not my quality of workmanship or anything on my PC. It is good to go. It is all the server's fault. It's the truth. I swear. Anyways, so I've decided that, well, after 1.18 and all these changes, and I've seen these top tier farms, I think I kind of figured out what really makes these things tick and kind of work around it. Downscale it enough to be actually usable on my server, but not to the point where it's just an average Guardian farm. But first things first, whenever I'm doing this farm, I'm going to have to clean up a little bit. For one, the sweeper machine, that's going to have to go. And two, this temple, it is going to have to go. It's really throwing off the feng shui of this whole build. Wait, is that a word? Hold on. Yeah, it's a word. Haha, I am classy. Anyways, so we got to get going. Admittedly, I spent a lot more time on planning this thing out than I should have, so this is going to be a mad dash to get this done in time. So, let's get going. And, well, here we are. It wasn't really too much of an exciting time lapse, but breaking down all that stuff, that wasn't the reason I did it. Yeah, I'm a little bit selfish, I know. I honestly just like looking at this block. The prismarine, how it changes into the 3 different colors, and it's doing it right now. It went from the blue to the green. It's just so cool to look at, especially when it's sped up. But now with all that out of the way, what are we going to do? So, we have a few options, like I said earlier. A lot of those farms, well, once you get to the 1.3 mil area on drops, it gets kind of to the point where the server can't handle it. So, what I want to do is figure out what the server can handle. And out of the 2 designs that I found, I'm actually going to do one by gnembon. And truth be told, well, I would say I choose this one just because I think it's tileable, meaning I'll have one part of it on this side, one part on the other one, and I'll do that just to start out. If the server can handle it, I'll add another one on this side, check it, and then rinse and repeat until I get to that magic point where it destroys my world. But going back to the basic design of these farms, they really are pretty simple. let's talk about GuardianFarm basics. That's right. I'm going to take you all to school here. And just consider me the, lackluster substitute teacher who kind of knows what he's talking about. So take that with a grain of salt or whatever. If you guys want more info on these things, honestly, check out Rayworks' channel and also check out gnembon's channel. A lot of info is over there, and it really is in-depth and informative. Highly suggest it. So, any water that we put in this little bounding box, which was the ocean monument, they can spawn in. So the question is, how do we get rid of them or kill them? Well, some people keep them in the overworld and they'll make some water pathways, or they'll have, let's say, water tubes with some magma cube blocks down below, sucking them down, killing them. With a hopper cart or hopper system underneath, that's great and everything. But unfortunately, remember, I'm wanting this one for max drops. So in order to get max drops without looting, because, well, unfortunately, when you hit a guardian, you get the thorns effect from them. And I tried several different techniques. I know there's one thing with sweeping edge where you can hit a minecart with sweeping edge. When you do that, the minecart will distribute the sweeping edge to a 3x3 area, and any mobs in that area would actually get hit by the minecart. Unfortunately, when I did that, the thorns effect still actually gave damage to me. I wasn't expecting that. I knew that this was a top tier way of dealing with mobs with thorns, especially like skeletons and zombie armor when you do your grinders. I guess it doesn't either A, work on 1.18, or B, it doesn't work with guardians. So, looting. It's out of the question right now because I don't want to have to constantly come back to the computer and, have oh, I'm hungry, I need to get some regen on by eating. And on top of that, I really don't feel like making a macro of having me eat every 30 seconds and yada, yada, yada. So we are going to brute force this. We are going to pretty much spawn these things as fast as possible and then get rid of them as fast as possible into the nether. Now, once in the nether, we got about 15 seconds to choose what we want to do with them. A couple options. Either A, some people will bring them back into the nether because when they go into the nether, the out of the mob cap allows you to spawn more in, and then you can have another portal all the way down below this farm, bringing them back in where the player kills them. We're not going to do that. We are just simply going to kill them straight into the nether. So you may be wondering, what all does that mean in the end? Well, it means I'm going to the end. And I also swear this is the end of this clip. And here we are at the end, and I'm wondering if you can tell what I'm here for. It's Obsidian. I needed Obsidian for a lot of massive portals. And unfortunately, I don't have an Obsidian generator, but what I do have is giant columns of this stuff. And with an auto clicker and just paying attention to make sure I don't go down to the world's end, once you get to a level, you just go back up to a little water path up top, have a haste beacon going. It took me probably, maybe 10 minutes per, 2 columns of this? Yeah, it's not fun mining obsidian, and I was looking into some obsidian farms, maybe thinking I could build one of these real quick. No, I could not. That's on a whole new level of Minecraft playing for farm making, whatever you want to call it, that I'm honestly just not there for. And the one I think I probably could have made, well, it wouldn't be very friendly for other players joining the server because, well, when you spawn into the end, how you're on that little platform of obsidian? Well, that's where you put the wither, and any unsuspecting player joining in and, bam, there's a wither in your face. It's pretty frightening and pretty easy to break that far. So, it looks like in the future, if I did decide to do one, it's going to be a portal-based design. But like I said, I'm a little kindergartner when it comes to that stuff. It'll be a while. But anyways, that's enough of that. After grinding out all of this obsidian, I have I would say almost a shulker box full of obsidian. That should be plenty for me to do. So now that we got the obsidian, I'm pretty sure that rounds out most of the resource gathering. The other stuff that I gathered off camera, A buttload of hoppers. This storage system, I mean, I was originally planning for the 1.3 mil farm. I needed a lot of hoppers and a lot of chests for that. I'm probably going to have way more than I need now, but you never know. Next, soul sand. Yes, this is going to be important. I kind of already taken the liberty of marking out everything. We're going to have 4 rows, well, 4 rows of soul sand in each module. And like I said, I'm going to start on one side, do the next, and I'll just keep going back and forth until I find that, you know, that sweet spot of what the server can handle. Next, over here, there is a metric butt ton of glass. Well, I mean, definitely I'm going to need a lot on this, especially if I use up every single one of these modules. But we haven't even started on this outer, like, perimeter. What to do. Other than that, I got ice, because these soul sand, I mean, I'm going to have to fill it with water. I know you can use your, kelp? Yeah, use kelp, and once it's filled with water, build it all the way up. But I'm wondering if I place like a piece of ice here, 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 and just alternate it, like roll straight up, and as I'm breaking it, this should create the automatic fill in the, you know, what's it called, the infinite water source thing. It should just cascade all the way down. Hopefully, you know, we'll find out in the time lapse. But with that said, I mean, I guess now, I feel like I'm forgetting something. Crap. That's because I am. Well, I'm gonna have to start building on top of the nether soon. And I was wanting to put the storage system, well, on top of the nether. However, 1.18, I don't know if it's possible to get to the nether unless I had already made a hole. I gotta rethink this through. I guess that answers that. Obviously, you can get through Bedrock. On top of that, you can bust it just as easily. It just took me like a couple of pieces of TNT, a trapdoor, and a piston. I think that's probably the easiest I've ever broke Bedrock. And that's even saying something on Java. On Java, you just had like, what, a piston and lay a couple of layers of snow. Once you reach like 3 or 4 layers, you put the piston up and, well, it bust Bedrock. At least that was what it was a few updates ago. But I digress. Anyways, now I got this hole busted, I guess it's time to, well, start building. Alright, let's go. Well, after 2.5 hours, I would say I got a lot done. I mean, Overworld, I got the 2 Guardian tanks done. They just need the water in them. And over here in the Nether, well, take a look at it. I mean, sword system's about 85% done. Only thing I need to do is the slime pushers on each of these corners, excluding the cactus there, which is going to be destroying all the extra items. On top of that, I need to raise that nether portal up a little bit higher so it's guaranteed kill fall damage for those guardians coming in here. And then also the item filters, which I can't do just for a simple fact, well, I don't have the items yet. Granted, I mean, I'm not going to brag or anything, but after running the same for about 5-10 minutes, I'll have plenty of items to do the filters. But yeah, everything for the most part here is spawn proof. I just got to do the redstone. So I'll go ahead and do that off camera and bring you all back. We are back in the overworld and I did a thing. That's right. I ended up finally filling the water containers up with water. And now that the bubble vaders are, well, working, as you can see, let's see if we get lucky and see a spawn on camera. And there we go. It happens pretty quick. Which that is actually the point of this. The sooner we get these guardians out of the mob cap, the more can spawn in, and you know, that's just going to increase the rates. And on top of that, while I was filling up these chambers with water, you know, 6 chambers in total, I ended up getting double chest worth of drops. And, you know, that's just insane. So much so, I want more. That is right, I'm going to get more. And I decided I am going to push this thing beyond the limit. So I marked out another 2 chambers on this side, and another 2 chambers on this side. Technically, another one could go down the middle. However, I don't know if I will put that one here or not. And hear me out. I know that is a spawnable area that I could do. But I got to get into this thing, you know, for maintenance or whatever reason. So, you know, I may need to set a portal down here. Or I may just put an underwater tunnel going back to the island that back there. Who knows? But you know, as of right now, I think I'm going to hold off on this one. But we're going to do a jump cut. And when we come back, we should have these other 4 containers done. All right, let's go. Got another progress update. I ended up getting the floor finally done. Ugh, I hate to say the word done. I'm not too sold on it, but I mean, it is a start. I really love the deep slate along with the like dark prismarine and, well, prismarine in general, but as far as that pattern goes, not 100% sold on it, but it's spawn proof, so that is something. The other thing I did was switched out all these lights. You may have remembered that these sets on the far end, those were all glowstone. Got them switched out for sea lanterns now. That's right, every single area, all sea lanterns. This thing has been producing non-stop. Like, seriously, with all the sea lanterns that I have put in here, plus the floor, if we take a look here, that's all the extra ones I have left. And I didn't even use all the crystals I have in the little storage room in the nether. So, it's just proof of concept, right? This thing is really effective. And I got the left, well actually it's technically the right side. Got the right side done besides, I believe, these 2 chambers. And I have yet to really touch these other 2 rows here. But I kind of wanted to bring you in to show you how I do this. That way, in case you do decide to do this farm, you'll have a lot easier time than I originally did. Because first time through, I thought the kelp way was going to be the best. That was a mistake. It caused a lot of pain, problems, and guardians up the keister, you know? So, no one likes a guardian up the keister, and I'm going to show you how to avoid that. First off, you're going to need a lot of ice. Ice is key to this. So ice has that unique property where as soon as it melts, it becomes a water source. And what happens when you have 2 water sources right next to each other? They become whole. Now, if you have an L shape of full water sources, so if we put 1 block there, and we keep dotting this all the way down, as soon as these get broke, it's going to cause a cascading flood of infinite solid water blocks all the way down. So if you do this concept like that all the way down and pillar it straight up, Well, congrats. You're going to have this entire chamber filled with just a handful of ice blocks. A lot easier than the kelp. Now, with that little tidbit of knowledge out of the way, I think I'm going to finish getting these things filled with water. So, as I'm placing down all this ice, I really can't help but just have to come up with games just to break up the monotony. For example, I mean, how many bands have ice in their songs or their name? I mean, there's Vanilla Ice, right? Ice Ice Baby. That's a pretty popular one with the old people. Ice Tea. I think that's another one, right? You also can't forget about Rivers of Ice by the Simple Minds. And I normally try to avoid talking about Frozen at all costs, but I think it kind of applies, let it snow. Oh, and Cold as Ice by Foreigner. And if you're really old, there's a Bruce Springsteen song, what was it, 10th Avenue Freeze Out? Yeah, that's another one that deals with ice. And these are the things I do to try to keep sane while monotonously placing blocks. Seriously, it gets repetitive. And I know what you're all thinking. Oh, Rambo, seriously, you keep telling us that you're not a boomer or anything, but you keep talking about Bruce Springsteen, Foreigner, Simple Minds. They're old people bands, right? Yeah, that is true. I mean, they're like back in the day. But they do have some good songs. Alright, give credit where credit's due. Seriously, not a boomer though. So on a total unrelated band note, have you guys ever realized how easy ice is to break with a pickaxe? And yet, I mean, glass, it just takes forever. I mean, compared to this, I mean, look. That's like an eternity in Minecraft time. So what's the deal? Like, I just don't get it. What makes glass so special that it's almost obsidian-like? And yes, I know that's a wild exaggeration, but seriously, come on, Mojang. And surprise jump cut. Yeah, the GuardianFarm, need a break. Definitely do. That place is wiping me out. Mind, body, resources, everything. Seriously, that has been a really never-ending task. It's like every time I think I'm done, I find like, oh, I can do this to improve it more. Yeah, I just need to walk away from it right now. But as I was walking away from it, I came back to my little base of operations and I have an eviction notice. So I think this is probably how Coma's doing. Last video I had mentioned that, and she's even got rid of my stuff. I'm honestly a little confused, I could have swore, this is my house and I pay my rent. So, what's this about? Seriously. And, upon further inspection, I came across this sign, and I would hope that this would be my future house since I'm getting evicted from my own property, but hey, all right, I'll take a house. And on top of it, it looks bigger. So this might be a win-win, I'm wondering if I could, actually get her to do all the dirty work and kind of get rid of that little hut. We'll see. On second thought, I have TNT, and I like blowing things up. So, why don't I just go ahead and do it? I did a thing, and Hakoma's here, and she's going to help me blow up this building. And together, we are going to demonstrate what not to do. Hakoma, go ahead and go inside the building. Alright, we got Hakoma in the building now, and, just don't say anything if you're ready. Are you hearing anything? I'm not hearing anything. Yoink. Holy crap! I think it worked. Oh, hey. Whoops. I forgot to evacuate the village. And with this, I think this pretty much covers up the fact that I brutally blew up 2 villagers. So, yeah. I think I'm in the clear. Oh, nope, gotta burn that. And just like that, all evidence of me blowing up a few villagers, gone, buried. And if anyone asks you, you saw nothing. Nothing at all. This is our happy little secret. Well, it looks like construction's finally started. It's about time, honestly. I've been homeless for almost a week now. No joke, yeah. I've been kind of slumming it over there in that little place, but look, you can even see a little bit of mold growing on the walls. And here, in our natural Minecraft habitat, we have a wild Hakoma, currently building in my base theme. Will it be better than all my other builds? Most likely. Do I care? Heck no, I'm gonna be living in that. And I hope she doesn't mind me watching behind her shoulder. I mean, no pressure at all. I'm just gonna be living in this thing for the rest of the season, most likely. I think that's enough backseat building for me, though. I'm gonna go ahead and run off and do a few errands, and I'll bring you back when she's done. That way we both can be surprised. We are back, and Hakoma just let me know she finished up with the build. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. Alright, so first impressions. I'm going to go get my Owen Wilson on and be like, wow, this is honestly amazing. Like, it fits my design, my theme, and everything perfectly. Colors are on point, the lines, it's clean, it's sleek, it's modern. Ah, it's perfect. And she's even used my favorite light source. She took notes. This is awesome. And you may be wondering, well, where's the door, Rambo? Well, you actually don't need a door. All you need is some carpet, and then if we pop under here, well, some berry bushes. When mobs walk by and they just sense that there's a berry bush there, they will not cross this threshold. So, you know, literally there could be a zombie right there. Nope, won't touch me. Cue the MC Hammer music. And once again, just because I know about MC Hammer does not make me a boomer. Carry on. So we come in here, we got a nice little kitchen plus a storage area. I even like how she put the little crafting table underneath the little countertop there. I appreciate things like that, especially when like brown obviously doesn't really fit in with the style here. Just tucking it away there, that's just a perfect idea. And, you know, she spared no expense with the blocks. Quartz. Oh, I just love that block. Nice, clean, sleek. And more sea lanterns. Gee, I wonder where she got those at. And if we look up here, you know, spoiler alert, I kind of did a little bit of work, but yeah, that's going to be for next episode. Over here, wow, I see this little detail right here. I wouldn't have thought about just having a recessed lighting with that. I think I would have probably just gone straight up, well, what we did over here, or what she did over here, I should say. You know, that just a better builder than me. If we come up here, you know, we can see my bed and everything with candles. Yeah, that's nice. You know, it's that little mood lighting and everything. And if we take a look outside, my neighbors, oh, that's the villager breeder, which means that my neighbors are constantly going to be making the babies in front of me. Do they have curtains in Minecraft? I'm seriously contemplating, you know, maybe moving out of this house now. Anyways, overall, I'm impressed. I mean, I love this little house. It is nice, like clean, sleek, modern. I know I use those words all the time, but this really is what I like building in, and well, really in real life. If I could live like this, I would honestly live like this. So once again, she is a better builder than me. I'm not gonna lie, especially when it comes to this interior stuff. But I think that's enough of a distraction. Let's go ahead and get back to that Guardian farm and, well, finish it up. And jump cut. Would you look at that? Look what I'm doing. I'm placing more sand after I swore I was done placing sand. Yeah, but I do have my reasons. I just got nailed by a trident. And where are you? There you are. So I heard this is actually kind of a big deal. Oh, hey. Easy there, killer. Apparently, tridents are pretty rare on Java. And I guess they are. Well, never mind. I get back to placing sand. Oh, yeah, the sadness in my voice. Are you looking at it? I'm looking at it. I mean, just the water wall. Oh, this is so beautiful. I've never done this before, and honestly, makes this whole thing just the like chef's kiss, just beautiful. But besides that, it does have its added benefits of me, well, messing around this thing a little bit longer. I'm pretty sure if I went to go check the nether right now, I'd probably have an obscene amount of drops. A matter of fact, let's go check. As you can see, we got some guardians coming through this portal. And keep in mind, I haven't even got the AFK spot left. And yep, here they come. With Hakoma on the other side, just standing in the farm, we're already getting them coming in like crazy. And that's instant fall death damage right there. They're getting processed in the sorting system. This is awesome. Now, with the 1.18 update, every player has 70 mobs tied to their name. So, with me building such a large farm, the more players that we have standing there in the overworld in that farm, the more guardians we're going to get spawning in here. And, there are some other factors. I mean, I still have to light up the surrounding area outside that farm. Because, I don't want drowns to spawn. They do take up the mob cap. And, hey, the less I have to worry about other mobs, the more, well, we have guardians. But overall, I am ecstatic about this. The fact that I'm getting this many and the farm still isn't even 100% optimized yet, that's a good sign. And if we go through here, that's full, that's full, that's full, that's full, that's full, that's full, that's full. Okay. When's it gonna stop? When's it gonna stop? This has to be, nope, wait, one more. Hey, we finally found it. Yeah, that's a lot of crystals. That's probably more crystals than I'll ever use in my entire lifetime. But, just in case I got all of this I eventually want to fill out, just for, giggles, per se. But, yeah, this thing is just insane. And if we take a look over here, I'm pretty sure, where is it? There we are. Yep, just as much as that. And honestly, there would have been more of this, but I ran into a little bit of an issue in that little corner there with that piston, and there it is again. Sometimes that piston locks up, but I think I got a workaround for that. Well, this is it. I think we got it done for the most part. I'm kind of cleaning up right now, and I dug into that chest right there, and of course, that was where all the ocean monument went. And I looked at that. I don't know, it's just a Minecrafter in me, but yeah, I was like, I can't waste this. I need to, obviously store these things up, get them in a chest somewhere else and deal with them. But then the lazy part of me is like, all right, man, I've been working on this thing for over like a day to 2 days straight. And I'm just not going to use those blocks. So what I ended up doing was going around the base here and using them just so I don't have to, well, transport them someplace else. But I'll keep doing that off camera. But the last little tidbit I'm going to do on this thing before I fully showcase it off to you. This little open area. I believe, well, in the tutorials, gnembon had mentioned, well, a certain light level for guardians to spawn in. And so he had slabs going, I think it was up 6 blocks in each direction of, well, the 2 spawning chambers. So just to see if that does matter or not, I'm going to use tinted stained glass all the way through here. That way I can at least still see the detail I put here, plus keep an eye on the farm. And if I really need anything underneath here, which by design, no, this is pretty much self-sustaining. I shouldn't have to do any single thing with it. But anyways, if anyone else wanted to come in here, I'm going to leave the water walls open so you can just swim on in, or heck, in Java you can actually fly through water, which you can't do in Bedrock. But however, in Bedrock you can fly in lava, but you can't water. It's just weird like that, huh? But anyways, I'm going to finish up with that little retaining wall on the base around this Guardian farm. Get these last little chests and everything dealt with, and get the stained glass there, and we'll do one final overview of it. Alright, bring it back then. Well peeps, I think this farm is done. And not just done, like really done. I mean, look at it. It's pretty and it works. And it doesn't just work. I mean, it works. The drop rates on this thing is insane. Now that is one fully optimized Guardian farm. I mean, just look at those rates. This is amazing. I mean, don't act like you're not impressed. So, in today's episode, I'm going to give you a little bit of a time lapse for the outro, just to kind of, just bask in its glory. But before I do that, if you haven't subscribed and you really enjoyed today's content, or you just learned something new, consider leaving the video a like, or heck, even subscribe. Every little bit helps. But I'm Rambo Brambo 42, and thanks for watching. Bye.